How important is mental health in speaking to a therapist? Have you ever spoken to someone?
Yes.
How
I didn't feel like it helped.
No, they did nothing for you.
No, because I didn't feel like, and this is something that
It didn't.
I probably would have learned later on in life, is that, just because you go to a therapist doesn't mean, just like relationship, doesn't mean that that person is for you.
Yeah.
You may have to find the therapist or the person who you feel like you can divulge things so you feel comfortable with, you can have that breakthrough with.
It's important to know going into that situation.
Right.
You might just spill your guts for 6 months to somebody
and not feel like you're making any progress. And it could be the type of relationship or person that you're...
That's super important. I thought about it, but I like that thought. That makes sense.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're developing a relationship. You're trying to...
You're confiding in somebody and hoping that they have some type of a good ear, maybe. Somebody, that, like you said, a rapport, so that you get the benefit of speaking.
There's some people who just want to vent, and they could probably care less. Like, I don't want to just vent. Especially if I'm going to somebody whose main role is to kind of help me with my life and things that are going on. I think if I would have found somebody better to talk to back then, when I was going through a lot of things I was going through, I think it could have helped out a lot. And I just had to kind of...
Do you speak to anyone now?
No.
Do you have any plans to, or do you think you have any reason to? Or do you know what I'm saying? Life is tough. Some people need to step away and they can't speak to their significant other and they don't have nobody. Knowing now what you know, that you need to find the right person to vent to, do you think it benefits you now as an adult?
I think if I felt the point where I felt like I'm compelled to do it, like, I need to speak to somebody, I would actually do the steps that I need to do, and finding that person who I can,
Okay. What do you hope the future has in store for you? Let's say 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Not 5, that's a job. When you go to a job interview, hey, what's your 5-year plan? Mm-hmm. Relationships, 20-year plans. Countries, 100-year plans, 1,000-year plans. What do you hope for yourself in 20 years? Where do you want to be at?
I would like to, I'll be close, within 10 years of retiring. God's will. If I'm not already comfortably wealthy by then, I definitely want to have a house. I hope to have a child or kids within 20 years. I definitely want to have my own business. I would have hoped to have finished my degree.
You can look back in 20 years at this video.
I mean, I'm hoping, it's up to my moves and God's plan. It's like, okay. I can make all the plans I want and then want to doing something completely different. So, but I really hope these are the things that I want for life in 20 years.
Great segue. Do you believe, you said God's plan, so I'm assuming you believe in God.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
God's plan?
No, God.
The creator of all.
I don't know what it is. I'm asking.
No, God is...
When you picture God in your head, what do you see? Or do you see a puff of smoke? I don't know.
I don't think I necessarily see a person like that. Like, if I look at a picture, I'm like, oh, that's what I think God looks like.
So if you had to tell somebody that's God, how do you explain God to somebody?
In experiences, in things that happen, in life, you can see examples of God's work. We won't really see what God really looks like until our time. Okay. We could see God's actions and God's work, but to actually put a face on God, like, how do you put a face on somebody that has created everything?
I asked that because so many people believe in God. I'm talking about, what, 90% of the planet? Something like that? Probably 80, I don't know. It's a crazy amount of people believe in God. I'm assuming when they close their eyes, when they close their eyes and picture God, or who are they speaking to, or do you just speaking to? I don't know. I don't speak to God like that, so I just wonder what people envision when they're closing their eyes, kneeling by their beds, praying. What are they thinking?
God hears me. That's, I mean,
it's just a shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, not just a shoulder, but I imagine. There isn't a face a particular face that I imagine. There's an entity. There's a being that I envision, but not necessarily a face.
If you tell me who God is, this is gonna be a great interview. Like, I found God.
Yeah,
he knows what he looks like.
Well, as a matter of fact, he's like
he got a shape up.
No.
All right. If you could tell the world one thing before your death, what would be your last words?
Love and live. You know, I think that's how I have been trying to live my life is by, you know, treating people with love and living life, you know, the best way. Well, living life with as much fun and love as possible. So that's why I say live and love.